Menachem says what's great about the bracha. What's great about the tzadik is that this one who writes Shulchan, because if there is one who writes Shulchan on earth, basically he states a law. Or better still, he dictates a law. He dictates a din. He says this is the halacha, and this is accepted on earth. If there is one who says something that's accepted on earth, his word is also accepted in heaven. His dictates are accepted in heaven. Therefore, his bracha is so powerful. If he is a posek on earth, he's a posek b'shamayim. Therefore, his bracha was that great. The bracha of a posek is very precious. Of course, it worked out fine, except that he said also the bracha should be should be religious and good. That part, it's not his fault it worked out. But there's still life, there's still hope someday to get there. But the Mishnah says, his words, that in this case with the previous governor says that the woman is supposed to add an additional candle if she missed one, just forgot one, but she did light candles. He says definitely not, because this halacha itself is not a din per se. It's a custom, it's a chumrah. Chumrah means that it's much stricter than a law should be, because the fact is that no one mentions this halacha. None of the Rishonim at all, even there's no dream of a word about this halacha in the Rishonim whatsoever. Even the Mechaber doesn't mention this at all. So therefore, since it's a chumrah, avu v'loi loisif Allah, you know, accept the chumrah as is. Don't go adding on top of this chumrah yet. Therefore, this is a case of what it does. If, since he said only the word atah, since there is a tefillah or two tefillahs beginning with atah on Shabbos too, so therefore he may continue with the Shabbos bracha itself, with Yismach Moshe. This is all said in the tefillahs of Ma'anev, Avis, Shachas, and Mincha. Tefillah of Musaf, there's no tefillah of Musaf for the weekdays. If he started the words after Chidim for Musaf, he stops in the middle, does not finish that bracha. There's no chiyuv for a weekday tefillah then. He stops in the middle and he says, he can't do Shabbos immediately, and though he started the weekday bracha, he does not finish it at all. But if he went through all the brachas, he said by Musaf, or went through the brachas and reminded himself, this refers to all of them, went through all the tefillahs, he reminded himself after the beginning of the last brachas, meaning from the say onwards, then he's got to stop where he is and go back to the beginning of the Shabbos bracha, Friday night Ata Gidashta, the Shabbos Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the Mincha Ato Echad. If a person davened the entire weekday Shemon Esrei on Shabbos, reminding himself after he finished, he must repeat the entire Shemon Esrei. In case a person did all these errors we spoke about till now, the person made any one of these mistakes, then it says that he should consider it a bad sign. It's a sign from heaven that his Shabbos is not too pure. He has mixed Chas v'Shalom Chol, Chul with Kodesh, Chol with Shabbos, and it's a sign that he must do tshuva. If this ever happens, it's a sign from heaven. It was an accident. Nobody does deliberately. But this accident happened to him as a sign that he should search through his deeds and see what he did wrong and do tshuva with them. Of course, such accidents happen to a person whose mind is that far off the Shabbos that his tongue slips into the regular weekday tefillah. But if a person made a mistake from one of the Shabbos tefillahs, any tefillah from one to the other, then it makes no difference. If he reminded himself before he finished the bracha, he goes back to the beginning of the bracha, he didn't, then it's okay because from one he covered the other. He said, I think he dashed up a shachris. Mincha, he's Yetzer with that because since the ending of the bracha is the same. It's one bracha, Mekadosh Shabbos is Yetzer with it. This, of course, is only for Shachas, Mincha, and Shachas and Mincha. Then he made a mistake, Musaf, and said that he is not Yetzer at all, or if he said Musaf instead of those three, it's also not Yetzer because there is no korban at that time. It mustn't. So if it's mixture, interchange of one of those things, Yetzer, if it's Musaf, he has to say over the Yishma Hashem. We should be zechet to true kavona and tefillah, never having his errors, and to be zechet to become every Hashem Yehannes, seeing on Shlomo head up late. To start the dinner of Hanukkah. This says, the Gemara tells us that the ness of Hanukkah was such that the Jews were very few in number, led by the Hashmonaim, heroes of that time, tzadikim, Aharon, Kohen Gadol, Judah HaMaccabi, Maccabees, Esius, Nichomecha Beilam Hashem, showing that their trust was in Hashem, despite the tremendous odds, seemingly insurmountable odds, and yet the ness was that with the vast Greek armies, which were not just the Greeks, it was a mobilization of all the armies of the world under the Greek Empire, went against the Jews in Yerushalmi, and despite this, they fell. So this was one of the miracles of Hanukkah. The main miracle, of course, was the ness with the oil. The fact that the oil, just one day's supply of oil, lasted for 8 days. Now, the Din says that the celebration of Hanukkah is one, we celebrate by lighting Hanukkah candles, which is something like this, more nuchnius than gashmius. On Purim, it was also a miracle. The Jews were saved from the decree of Haman HaRasha. And there the mitzvah is physical. There the mitzvah is the Sudas Purim, the big feast of Purim, the Shleach Manos, and the food gifts. Why is it that on Purim it's celebrated begashmius, eating and drinking and making merry and drinking again, and Hanukkah, there's no mitzvah of Sudas Hanukkah. There is a custom that you have a Suda also, but primarily Hanukkah is a nuchnius nikiyenta. The answer is that because the miracle was that on Purim we were saved physically. If the Jews would have said to Haman they're willing to chas v'sholom forego their religion, they couldn't have saved themselves. Haman was out to destroy the Jews physically, to wipe them off the face of the earth, chas v'sholom, so that there was a physical Yeshua, victory physically. This was that their lives were spared. In the case of Hanukkah, it was a nuchnistic victory. Because on Hanukkah there was no intent by the king to wipe out the Jews physically. He didn't go after them to destroy, to erase the Jewish people. He just wanted them to submit to his emunah. If the Jews would have given up their religion, they would not be harmed at all. Not one hair on that would be harmed. Therefore, he was out to destroy the neshama. Since the ness was that the neshama was saved, the stories of Hanukkah where they did not have to, they fought against breaking the Shabbos, against submitting their wives, brides to the evil king. Therefore, since this was a ruchniistic victory, therefore the custom that on Hanukkah is more of a ruchniistic celebration. We celebrate with the oil, the light, and to show that this light penetrates even unto our homes, lowest places, after less than 10 tvachim, to show that though always the Shekhinah never comes down that low, less than 10 tvachim. Again, Hashem al Har Sinai, Hashem came on the Har Sinai. The Gemara says, but 10 tvachim above, not in this lower area, because this one was too low. The ness of Hanukkah was so great the Shekhinah penetrated down below into the 10 tvachim itself. That's why the custom is to light the candles of Hanukkah above 7 tvachim, but beneath 10 tvachim, to show that the light of the Shekhinah has penetrated through it. Which means that we couple this great light of the Shekhinah, above all this light, this stands for the light of the tzadikim. Therefore, there is a scarvis to see the lighting of the Menorah in the Beis Hamikdash, the part of the Beis Hamikdash, with the coming of Mashiach. Now, Amen. Is Hanukkah. The ness of Hanukkah, we recall, spoke once about the Shaila, about why the celebrate the holiday of Hanukkah for 8 days. After all, the ness was that a vial of oil, a small container of oil, which contained enough oil to burn for 24 hours, instead burned for 8 days. That was a miracle. One day burning for 8 days is an open miracle. However, what was the length of time this miracle lasted? It lasted for 7 days. First day that it burned, there was no miracle. The miracle was only for the other 7 days. It lasted more than the prescribed time. Why do we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days instead of for 7? Ness Hanukkah. Ness of Hanukkah was only 7. Explain once in 2 answers. One answer is that the first day, Chavhei, Hanukkah, Chanu, Chavhei, the rest of the 25th day, because that was the victory in battle. The rest of the days will be miracle with the oil. Second answer is that all the Mepharshim give is that the oil itself, if we say that it was 24 hours worth of oil that burnt 8 days, it means that on the second day nothing burned. There was oil which shouldn't have been. Zero. The second day was a big miracle. The fact that it went on to the third day is a bigger miracle. The fourth day is still bigger. You would have a holiday where the days are not alike. The ness is a different measure each day. And actually, Hanukkah is one smooth, straight, equal holiday. All days are alike. The size, the extent of the ness was exactly the same every single day. Why? Because this was not that 24 hours lasted for 8 days, but that the oil itself in this vial, 24-hour content of this oil, on the first day, only 3 hours worth of oil was used up. Miracle was that 3 hours worth of oil burned for 24 hours. The second day, again, 3 hours worth of oil burned again for 24 hours for the second day. Third day and so on. In other words, the vial of oil which contained 24 hours was divided into 8 parts. 1/8 of it burnt each day, 8 times longer than it should. Therefore, the ness was one that took place every single day, the first day as well as the 8th day. The ness of 8 days with the oil. This is the reason why we celebrate the Hanukkah, Ness Hanukkah for 8 days. The Mepharshim ask a simple question. Why do we have any other holiday, Pesach for instance, Ness, Chag Pesach, 7th day, Game Day, we celebrate it for 8 days in the Chutzlaritz. We must be sure we're celebrating the right day. So because we have a spek of the Yonah, we are in doubt the day, not that we are in doubt today, of course. Today we have a calendar. The Chachamim gave us a calendar to come with that. Because the minig of esteemed biyadinu, when we had to make Beis Mikdash, when they had to notify the people when the Chodesh was, they could not reach the ones outside of Eretz Yisrael in time, those who were in Golos. Because there was a doubt of one day, they had to add an additional day. So in Eretz Yisrael, Pesach is 7 days, with Chodesh 8 days. Shavuos in Eretz Yisrael is 1 day, with Chodesh it's 2 days. Sukkot in Eretz Yisrael is 8 days, with Chodesh it's 9 days. You see that the holidays are all more than Chodesh. The Shoshana, because it's 2 days in Eretz Yisrael, and Chodesh because it came out of the Chodesh itself. And Kippur is only 1 day outside of Eretz Yisrael because we say we do not want to, since we are positive of the days, it's just a question of meaning of Eseinu, meaning of our forefathers we kept up. We don't do it when there's a question of pikuach nefesh. It's a matter of life. People may not be able to survive a 2-day tinus. People suffer enough with 1 day. If you go on for 48 hours, that is too difficult for them to undertake. Plus the fact, of course, that if we say, it's another svara, if we say that Yom Kippur we fast 2 days because it's Sveik at the Yom, we don't know whether this is Yom Kippur today or tomorrow. Yom Kippur was we fast Wednesday and Thursday. In that case, we cannot do it because we're breaking or destroying a mitzvah. If we say, let's say, Wednesday, so we fast Wednesday, means we have covered in case Yom Kippur is Wednesday. Comes Thursday, we'll fast Thursday too in case what? In case Yom Kippur is Thursday. Kippur is Thursday, it means that Wednesday there's a special mitzvah to eat at Yom Kippur. You're supposed to eat that day. It's just as important as fasting Yom Kippur. What are you doing fasting? There's no mitzvah to fast at Yom Kippur. Because of that, we cannot take the chance of fasting 2 days Yom Kippur, so that one. However, Hanukkah, which took place in Israel too, why don't we celebrate it in Chutzlaretz for 9 days? Why don't we have candle lighting for 9 days? Or at least eating latkes for 9 days. Take that. Or vacation for 9 days. How come the holiday of Hanukkah is no question of difference in time between Israel and Chutzlaretz? That it is because of the fact that the other Yom Tov are Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the suffix arose. Suffix arose, so the Halacha said, we cannot take a chance, must add a day. Holiday of Hanukkah itself is Midrabbanan. Heim Amru, Beheim Amru. Rabbanan are the ones who gave us this Yom Tov. Rabbanan are the ones who gave us the calendar. So since they are the ones that gave the Yom Tov, they gave us a definite calendar, no exactly definite time, it's not shy if they should say we're going to add a day of suffix to ourselves. It's not feasible at all. Therefore, the Yom Tov of Hanukkah is celebrated only 8 days everywhere, including of course, in all places, everywhere in the world, you have the same number of candles burning. First day is the first day everywhere, and the second day is the same everywhere. There are certain exceptions among the Sfard, where some of them have where they have additional candles lit to celebrate the fact that they are Sfard.
They like those upside down.
So there they have more candles. Of course, it's very confusing. You see their menorahs because you lose track of what day and what day it is, day or night. It's very confusing. Throughout the world, and we speak about normally, of course, everyone lights the same number of candles throughout because of the fact that the Yom Tov Hanukkah is an 8-day Yom Tov. We should be zecher to bring this light of Hanukkah. It's a very small light, this candle light, tiny wick, very tiny light. And yet, this tiny light, it drives away, repels a lot of darkness. And you can see this, because this, of course, is spiritually. They spoke about the klipos, the tumas, which fill the world, especially, we said that the top world, way above even the throne of Hashem, there's also these klipos. Surely there is more in the next world. Surely much more in the world of the angels. This world, our world, it's practically all klipos, the job. Wherever you go, it's klipos, dark klipos, very dark places. Day and night you see darkness. So in this world of darkness, it's so dark, all times, you light a tiny candle. And this tiny candle shines out in the night. It brightens up the whole night, the whole ghost, the whole evil. The klipos are driven away. The Atza'oz, tiny bit of light, drives away, repels, a lot, a great deal of darkness. One of these tiny candles lit up everywhere drives out these klipos. The Yom Tov of Hanukkah is so important and so holy that the Aharon says, Josh would say, that when Mashiach comes, possibly we may stop celebrating the other holidays and become minor. But Hanukkah, holiday of Rabbanan, this great light, this will be maintained even after Mashiach comes as a major end. This, we should observe it to receive this light. Have this light penetrate into the darkness of our hearts and minds. Brighten our hearts, brighten the candle, this fire, and ignite the candle in our hearts, which is Neil and Kim Nishmas Adam. The candle of Hashem is the Neshama of the person. The Neshama should become bright with the light of Torah, with the light of the tzadikim, with the light of the Shekhinah. We should see the entire darkness driven out. We should celebrate the true light of the Menachem in the base of Mikdash. We ask Mashiach Kenu V'Eilach.
Amen.
The mitzvah of placing the candles, lighting the candles is the main mitzvah, the moment of lighting. Therefore, the candles should be lit in a place that is kosher, the proper place. If you light the candles in a wrong spot, let's say below 3 tvachim, or above 20 tvachim, or 20 amas, which is posek, and then you take the lit candles and put them into a kosher place, you have not done the mitzvah. The mitzvah is the lighting, which should be done in a proper place. Where is the proper place to light candles? The height, as we said, is above 3 tvachim, and the chatchila below 10 tvachim. Within these upper 7 tvachim, preferably the upper 3 tvachim. The point is that according to the Din Gemara, so we need Yerushalmi. The primary mitzvah of Hanukkah is to notify, to publicize to the world the nest that Hashem did on Hanukkah. We do this fearlessly. Let the lights, candle lights, shine out into the world, into this black, dark world. Let these little candles shine out and show the power of this light. This little light can drive away all the evil forces. The proper place, therefore, the Gemara says, is to put it at the door. The door of the home. Of course, this refers to the time when people had private homes, ranch homes. Place it at the door of the house. And when the door is opened, everyone sees the candles. Of course, if there is a wind, you've got to protect the candles against the wind. We're speaking about normally, there is such a protection. It should be placed at the door. It says too, at the door you have 2 sides of the entrance. In order to make a person really be filled, surrounded, encircled with mitzvahs, you place it opposite the mezuzah. On the right side of the door you have the mezuzah. Left side of the door you have the candles, the Hanukkah candles. The person walks through these 2 pillars, powerful pillars of mitzvahs that are so all protective. Therefore, the proper spot for candles, Hanukkah candles, is at the Pesach, the door of the house, facing the opposite side of the mezuzah. That's the chatchila, the best place a person can put it in. However, when a person lives at a height, as do most people now, they live higher than ground level, so surely nobody will see the candles if they're placed at the door. Therefore, today, the custom is to place them in the windowsill. Though, as we said, if you light candles higher than 20 amas, it is posek. Let's say a person lives at a ground level. He lights candles on a pedestal that's more than 20 amas high, he has not fulfilled the mitzvah. However, if his home itself, his residence, is more than 20 amas, he lives on the 86th floor penthouse, then he is allowed to light candles there, though it's more than 20 amas, because from the floor of his home to the windowsill, it's within the 10 tvachim. Then he should place it at the windowsill where it could be seen outside. If there too, at that point there is no one, there's no visibility to anybody outside at all, then he does not have to place it at the windowsill. He can place it by the door, preferably, because at least, though it will be no Teshuva, but people can tie in the mitzvah of putting the candles in the right place, according to the Din Gemara, at the entrance itself. This is the proper placing of the candles, which is nothing to place the candles in the right spot, tie in this mitzvah properly, and to let this light penetrate into our hearts too, to bring the light of the tzadik emes, light of kedusha, to see through this the light of the coming of Mashiach. This makes your head up.
Very special halacha with the Medes of Hanukkah. These Medes are Kaddish, they are holy. The fact that they are holy doesn't make them different than anything else. You have tzitzis that are holy, Shabbos that are holy, and yet there is a special halacha with these Medes that you cannot use them at all. Not the physical candle, you cannot even use the light of the candle. After all, they are lit to give off light. On Shabbos, when you light candles, Shabbos candles are made to give off light and to use that light, because it's something that's made for simcha. Light gives show and simcha. And here, it's a happy day, and it's clearly Chag Ha'urim, the holiday of lights, festival lights. You would figure this light is made to use, to enjoy. The fact is that there is an issur of using this light for any reason whatsoever. It's forbidden to use that light to read by or to detect something, look at something under the light of those candles. And as well, we have these Shabbos there. There's a special halacha brought in the Aharon that you cannot use that light for any purpose at all. But let's say if it's necessary, emergency, you've got to go through this room to reach another room. This room is dark except for the candles. You're allowed to use the light of the candles to see that you don't trip over something. You might have a little elephant lying there or children's toys. You use that light to be able to get through the room in safety. No members lurking behind doors, closets. But you are allowed to use the light just to be able to walk through the room, but not for any extended reason, extended period of time. So that in order to avoid using this light, and sometimes you can't help it, you happen to shaking accidentally or accidentally use that light for a moment. So therefore, the reason why we have these Shabbos up on top in a higher position, in case ever the light is used by accident or for a moment, we say that we did not take the light of the candles, and there it's not our fault. We used the light of the Shabbos which was sufficient for our purpose. Well, the Shabbos is, Shminas brought there, what happens, mitzvah of lighting candles is a mitzvah that lasts for 30 minutes. That's the halacha of lighting candles. After 30 minutes, there's no longer the responsibility, the obligation of having these candles lit. So if a candle burns for 30 minutes and it goes out, you've completed the mitzvah, 100%. Are you allowed to put the candles out to extinguish it after 30 minutes? Right, it's over the shiloh. The bigger shiloh is a person allowed to use the light of these candles after 30 minutes are over? That's what it's done. Now, do these candles become the candles become a mechina, a category of holy, no longer holy. This is a shiloh what did, and the Brisa, of course, there are some who say that after 30 minutes are over, it's completed, you can use it already. The Brisa, though, often the Brisa, they say that since they are burning, they have them not for the sake of the mitzvah, the person should leave them, not to extinguish them, and to avoid using their light all as long as they are burning. There are many places who say differently, but the places we said, this is the halacha. The person should avoid throughout until the candles can burn for hours and hours. Not to use the light of the candles for any personal use until after they have been extinguished. This is really giving coverage, aside from giving coverage, to the Nedas Hanukkah. Which is Zechat to the Mechaber, Mitzvah of Hashem, the Kabbalah, the Simcha, the Ava, the Zechat of Yerushalmi, the Elavli. It's a very interesting, very fascinating word, finish, in one halacha we have in Hanukkah. The beginnings of Hanukkah we say Hallel, whole Hallel showing the entire Hanukkah. You know, it says that how come that Hanukkah is better than important? How come that Hanukkah is better? Hanukkah, which is a Chag de Rabbanan, how come it's more humble, better than a Yom Tov than Pesach? Pesach is a major Yom Tov. It's also in the Halacha. On Pesach, the last 6 days, we say half Hallel. On Hanukkah, a week to Yom Tov, we say whole Hallel. You know, it says that there are certain days when we say whole Hallel. And the Gemara explains that because the Yom Tov of Pesach, there was tragedy at the end, even though it was Goyim that got killed, the Egyptians drowned in the sea, they are still the creation of Hashem. It cannot be a complete simcha. If you cannot say a whole Hallel the last 7th day of Pesach, when this happened, surely you cannot have the Chalamed Pesach should be better than the last day of Pesach, which is a bigger Yom Tov. However, on Hanukkah, which is a day of simcha because of this, we say the whole Hallel. Zohar Kodesh says, the Fedish, at the days of saying whole Hallel, we have a posek in the Torah which tells us that. Posek says, Shnayim bo el meach ala teva. 2 by 2, the animals, the beings came to meach. 2 by 2. This shows the exact number of days, the exact holidays when we say whole Hallel. The question is, how does it show it? Shnayim bo meach. How does that show what there is? The Farshim struggle on that very much, and they number of very difficult types of answers. Shimshus the Arizal says, I will turn the light on for you. When he turns the light on, it's very, very bright. You know, for a car that there is brought Russian at fixed audits outside of it, so we have wood, Yemtek, and then it just wrote. Pesach is 8 days, Sukkot is 9 days, Shavuos is 2 days, Yemtek there's 1 day less each one of these 3 holidays. So we have a pasuk, we have a word which tells us when we say the whole Hallel. That word is bebetach. Bebetach, beis tes ches. That's the symbol of the days that the whole Hallel is said in chutzlaris. Beis stands for 2 days of Pesach, the first 2 days. We say the whole Hallel. The other 6, of course, the half Hallel. Second day stands for the 2 days of Shavuos. The tes stands for the 9 days of Sukkot, which we need to say almost later. The ches stands for the 8 days of Hanukkah. We have the betach as a symbol, a sign, telling us when to say whole Hallel. Jewish Arizal says, now we'll show you what that the Zohar Kodesh is so deep that's remember is this word. It says the posek Shnayim bo'u ameach. Shnayim is beis, the 2 days of Pesach and 2 days of Shavuos. Bo'u is begimatria 9. Beis Aleph Vav is 9, it's the 9 days of Sukkot, and El Meach begimatria Hanukkah, exactly. You have exactly the holidays mentioned in that word. Shulchan's explanation. This explains the days in which we say the whole holiday. Well, of course, so explaining why on these days we say Hallel more than others. There's some more topic in the Gemara. We'll have it later on. Shpizecha meanwhile to say the whole Hallel. Zecha will say the Hallel of Beis Mashiach Zerim Heilach. Arizal says if a person wants to do Teshuva, to return to Hashem, to get closer to Hashem, he must make a start. He's got to begin, make a strong start, and the impetus, the momentum of that start will carry him on to reach greater heights, closer and closer to Hashem. Arizal says in the Dinim of Hanukkah we find this very clear, clearly illustrated. The Gemara says that on Hanukkah you're supposed to light the candles. So, al-pi halacha, al-pi din, it is sufficient for a person to light 1 candle each night. That's the halacha mitzvah Hanukkah. Mitzvah is 1 candle each night for the entire household. A total of 8 candles for the whole house, for the whole family. However, it is customary in the Hadar that each person in the family should light. But in the Hadar, the best of the best is to light, to advance, light 1 candle the first night, according to Beis Hillel. Like Hillel and Shammai say that you start with 8 and you decrease every night. And the Beis Hillel say that you start with 1, which is our custom, and then the second night you add 1, that's 2, the third night 3, till the 8th night you have 8 candles. Rosenfeld says this illustrates the Menachem lesson, that you want to bring the light. This is the light of Emunah, the light of the tzadik, the light of the koyach of purifying Teshuva. Because you want to bring down the light of the Shekhinah into the 10 Fachim Shalmata. The Shekhinah never went down so far below because it's so full of tumah. want to bring that light into the essence of Tumah, the ikar point, the area of Tumah, that light should shine into this place, purify it. You've got to have the koyach of the beginning. Kol haschol is kosher. To make a start is very difficult. Therefore, it takes a lot of strength, a lot of energy, a lot of special effort to make this start. The haschol is very, very difficult, but the haschol is so great that the power of the haschol, power of this beginning, the start, can give added impetus to the rest of the person's motions. Therefore, haschol is the first night. We light a candle the first night. The second night, we light for the second, but we bring in the first one too. The first plus the second candle. Third night, we don't forget the haschol. We'll have more light, but through the haschol, through having the first candle and then the second and third and so on. This is what I said this week, C2. The Avedas Tikuney Zohar and Yom Kippur. Remember, for Muslim, we have the Aveda of Yom Kippur. We speak about, we vow so many times. The Aveda of the service, the Tikuney Zohar did in the Beis Hamikdash, the Kodesh Kodeshim. It says that by the Arizal, the Kohen would squirt over the Mizbeach the blood of the Korban, so he would count off. He would say Achas, he would squirt Achas Lamala, and Sheva Lamata. Word above and 7 below. It's like the Hashem Echad, Aleph above, Ches below. He scored one above the Mizbeach and 7 below. He'd count Achas, that's one above. And below you go Achas ve Achas, 1 and 1. Achas Ushtayin, 1 in the second. What's that 1? What is that additional 1? That's the curse of the Aschola. He's counting also at the same time like that 1 above, adding it to each one to give strength to the ones below, strength of the above, the kedusha above to enter into, penetrate into below. And this, therefore, is why we say that the greatest, most powerful Shem, the Shemayim Beis, because the Shemayim Beis itself is, when we say Yud, Yud K, Vav K, we say Yud, then we go back to the Aschol, Yud, Yud K, then Yud K, Vav, Yud K, Vav K. Bring always in for the Aschol, that koyach, which gives strength to the rest of the Shemayim Beis. That's why a person in Hanukkah is supposed to light the candles, having this point in mind, to know that we must make a new start each day. And Mashiach said, Hashem said, Mashiach, that though Mashiach will have suffered for so many generations, suffering he goes through waiting for the Gula, but yet when the day of the Gula comes, he will say, I was born today. Because I make a fresh start each day. I come with the power of the Haschol beginning. That's the greatness of Mashiach. That's the lesson we should learn. Arizal tells us to serve Hashem. Each day, you are born anew. Don't become old. Don't go into the habit that it's purely habit and you forget about the cause, the effort that's supposed to go into it. Each day, begin a fresh start. The power of the fresh start will bring a person much closer and more easily close to Hashem, which means definitely Edi Hashem be endless. Everybody see the Ghost and pay up for me. Today is the 8th day of Hanukkah, known as the Zois Hanukkah. As we know, the koyach of Teshuva is so great. Hashem gave us the Yom Echad Bashana, Yom Kippur, the day in which a person can be zeichet to Teshuva Shlema, to be Niskabel. However, the koyach of tikva, of hope, lack of yish is greater. A person should know that if he was not zeichet to do Teshuva on that Yom Echad Bashana, he's given another chance. He's given a chance to Hashanah Rabbah, the last day of before the Piskin, the decrees in heaven are issued. Person fails then, and there seems to be no hope. Yet it says that there is a yad and a shamayim, kabel shavim, and Zois Hanukkah, this 8th day, there's a new chance, another haschola to be made, because the Zois Yavai Aharon HaKadosh. This day a person can do tshuva and go back to Hashem, even if he failed to fulfill the schiyuv of tshuva, Kippur, and Hashanah, and all the other chances he had. This is a new item. What is the special kedusha of Hanukkah?
that is greater in a sense than most other Yom Tov. Arizal says, note this is the only Yom Tov that actually determines the year itself. The whole year is totally on this Yom Tov. The only Yom Tov where you have a Yom Tov that extends over a period of 2 months. It's part of the month of Kislev plus part of the month of Teves. The year itself, what type of year, whether the year is a Chassidut or Chassidut or Shlema, is determined during the months of Cheshvan and Kislev. If those 2 months are Shlenim or Chasidim. So this we can know, by the time Kislev is over, we can tell already what kind of a year this is. We see that the year is judged through this Yom Tov. Secondly, the Gemara says there's an Eisam Shlonim Tzimon like Rosh Hashanah. The Hashanah there is decided in heaven exactly how much a person is going to earn for that year. It's brought to that a person can do tshuva, as we said, through Hanukkah and have any evil decree or harsh decree set aside and have a chesed Hashem, the mamtik any of these dinim. Because we see that the Zohar Kodesh says that the malach of Parnasa is, the malach is called Ches Tov Chav, which is the Sevateus B'Seach Es Yadecha M'Spil HaChayrotzim. Seach Es Yadecha, that's the special posek where a person must have kavanah, because that's the tefillah for Parnasa. Last letters are the malach Ches Tov Chav. This we see that even after the Shoshana, after the Yom Tovim, this extends further, because the Parshas that we read, the Rishis, Noach, Lech Lecha, the Sefer Tevis there also are Ches Tov Chav, show that the Koyach of Parnasa can be rectified, can be corrected, even if a person was not Zechet prior to that. For how long does this extend? Through Hanukkah, Tishrei, Cheshvan, Kislev, Teves, Ches Tov Chav. With Hanukkah, a person can be Zechet to Teshuva and to a new tzadik, one that is Toiv, and one that is Zechet to Parnasa and called Tov. I think we should be Zechet to do Teshuva Shlema now, to return to Hashem, L'chol Aveinu, L'chol Nafshenu, and through this we should be able to see the Einigu, the Bias Mashiach Kiruv, the Bias Mashiach Kiruv.